All right. So I am thrilled to be here and excited for you guys because I think this has been, I don't know, I want to say like one of the most well-received things that I've been doing in recent past, right? Those of you guys who know me know that I am the main moderator, the main educator on the Human Body and Essential Oils group. We have over 252,000 people in that group. So it's a group full of oil enthusiasts. And over the last, I guess, 2 or 3 years, I got really into supplements because some of you know that I was super anti-supplement. And just because I think you can get a lot of it from your own food and all of that. But when I started to learn about our supplements and how they're so much more bioavailable, and what that means is your body knows what to do with them and your body actually does something with them, as opposed to, you going to the bathroom and flushing your supplements down the toilet. So sadly, there's some estimate of 90% of all supplements on the market have synthetics in them, and they're not bioavailable, and they, don't absorb. So my goal tonight is to help you determine not only what supplements you might need, but also some ways to make sure that the absorbability is higher, right? And what things you maybe shouldn't be taking together, what things you might want to take together. And so what's really great about this, it's a wellness mapping test. I'm giving you the first part of the test. The test is actually 70 or some odd questions long. We're only going to go through 15 of them. So you can imagine if you took the entire test, you would have a really good understanding of what you should be taking, right? And maybe what you shouldn't be taking. That's the other thing that I think people don't understand. And I'm going to share with you guys at the end some of the other questions so you can understand some of the tests. Part of the test will ask you specific questions to help you determine maybe supplements you shouldn't be taking, right? And that's the curious thing where we think, oh, it's natural, everybody should be taking everything. All right. And please make sure you guys mute yourself. We've got a bunch of you on the call right now, about 200 of you. So share this out with your friends. You guys can, play around with this, give this to whomever you want. But this is going to be a super helpful test that I'm going to administer to you. Okay. All right. So are you guys ready? Because I'm really excited to be able to do this with you all. Yeah? Okay. I can see you guys on the chat saying things. So I typically don't answer questions. If anybody has answers to questions on the chat while I'm doing my presentation, you guys can help those people out. But otherwise, we will do a Q&A session at the end, which is always super fun. So we usually don't record those. So we'll see. We'll see how we do. I like to be able to not record that session so you guys feel like you can just chat. All right. So what we're going to do, like I said, is I'm going to ask you 15 questions and we are diving right in. I've done this before where we do introduction. I tell you a little bit of my story. If you want to learn my story and hear the first half hour, you guys are welcome to go to vitality.com/map intro. And that'll give you the first 30 minutes of like sort of who I am and what that's all. So just know I'm a big time educator in the health and wellness world. I love helping men and women, mostly women, find out what oils they need to be using, what supplements they need to be using, how to get healthy from a lifestyle perspective. So sometimes I'm recommending products that you can just go down and buy at your store. Sometimes I'm recommending getting rid of some of the products in your store. And one of the things when it comes to all of this and bioavailability and things that you're trying to do to get healthy is to remember it's not just about what you put in your mouth. It's about what you get rid of in your home. It's like looking at your overall chemical footprint. And the majority of us don't realize that we are unhealthy because of the synthetics in our home, right? Not just the things we're consuming, which lend itself to a large part of this, but also the damage being caused to your endocrine system, your hormones, and all your other systems because of your chemical footprint. And when I say chemical footprint, everything is a chemical, right? So I mean synthetic chemical footprint, from your candles to most all of your cleaning products have synthetics in them, to your personal care products, to your makeup. Like, it's insane how many chemicals can be blocking our health. So that's without saying, but I wanted to say it so that we can get into this portion of it so you understand that part of this year that I'm going to be doing with many of you is how do we kind of attack all of it? Okay, so get a pencil or a pen and a notepad, and we are going to move one at a time through these questions. Okay, number one, again, it's a 15-question wellness map that's going over supplements and oils and some of the things that you might consider thinking about. Number one, do you often feel tired during the day when you should be awake? Or if you work the night shift, just whenever you're supposed to be awake, do you feel tired? If you answer yes, so these are all yes and no questions. If you answer yes to any of them, I'm going to give you what you should be doing. Okay, so this is always for yes answers. So if you answer a yes, that's going to be like, okay, warning, this is what you might need to do. So if you're feeling tired during the day, you should be on a B complex. And I will say Super B from Young Living is the absolute best bioavailable B complex I've ever used. And I've had injections before. So Super B. I would also encourage you to consider Ninja Red, right? Getting on some high antioxidant. Ninja Red has the highest ORAC value of it's wolfberry, right? Goji berry. And that's incredible. I'm drinking right now, red drink, right? So the other thing to consider, and this is where I get into the maybe consider getting off of something, would be, are you consuming caffeine at all? Are you drinking coffee? Are you drinking tea? And I know, like, should we really start with this question? But I encourage you to try a 30-day moratorium on caffeine. Caffeine blocks your endocrine system in many ways and can cause you to actually feel tired during the day. So it's a kind of a weird thing where people think, well, I need my coffee. Well, your body needs your coffee because you've been on caffeine. And so it's this really vicious cycle. So as far as an endocrine disruptor is concerned, I would encourage you to limit or remove caffeine from your diet. We have some replacement items that you can do. I always say, like, replace it with something, but like Sleek Tea or the YL Drops Plus Energy, Ninja Zing or Ninja Nitro are good alternatives. But here's the deal. Please make sure that you're not taking any of your natural supplements with your morning caffeine beverage or any caffeine beverage. It blocks the absorption capacity of any of your natural supplements. So caffeine in normal amounts, like where you're drinking like a cup of coffee, is really detrimental to supplements. So if you are taking medications like pharmaceuticals, it's fine because it's synthetic. The caffeine is not going to do anything to a synthetic medication, but to natural supplements, it will block the absorption rate. So just be aware, if you've been taking your supplements, a handful of supplements with your coffee, just stop doing that. And what I mean by that is, if you have to have coffee, drink your coffee in the morning, wait about 2 to 4 hours. Really, you should wait a good amount of time before that kind of gets out of your system so that you can take your natural supplements. So that would just mean your supplements would have to be started at around lunchtime. Okay. And then if you're dealing with oils, just to kind of figure out oils, there are some essential oils that help kind of wake up the senses. And the ones like peppermint, panaway, wintergreen, things that have that kind of like awake thing. So, I love my lavender, lemon, and peppermint. I feel like that just has such a nice aroma, and it has like that uplifting smell. So, but those aren't technically going to like wake you up like caffeine would. So Super B is one of those things, though. If we're going back to the B complex, understanding of that is, many of us are depleted of vital energy, and you need to have vital energy. Like, your vital energy is what makes you live. It's like your beating heart and your breath, right? Things like your hair growing. You need to be plugged in basically to life in order to keep living, right? And so that's vital energy. It's system function things that have to keep moving. Whereas my I'm so excited energy, right? Like, okay, seriously, like the rah, I call it rah energy versus vital energy. And Super B, typically, if you have good vital energy, meaning your vital energy is working well, you won't Super B won't make you woohoo, like all excited and up. So people who have good vital energy can take a B complex even at night and not have any problems. Or some of you, it actually gets you riled up. It actually gives you energy. Usually that's because your vital energy is depleted. And so not only are you tired, but like your vital energy that is necessary. So that's why you're sick and you're having other issues. So that Super B will replenish the ability for your body to produce that vital energy. And that kind of wakes you up. So that's sort of the little bit of side note there. Okay, number 2, do you get sad often or have unusual emotional cycles? So if the answer is yes, you're going to want to add super vitamin D. You need a really good D complex, or not D complex, a D supplement that is bioavailable. And again, most D vitamins on the market are not super bioavailable. They're from lanolin, that is basically the oil from sheep's wool. It's kind of gross. That's the majority of vitamin D that you're getting. And just a quick note, super vitamin D from Young Living is vegan from lichen, and it's highly bioavailable. So what does that mean? Why do your doctors constantly tell you to get on like 5,000 IU of a D or 6,000? They're dosing us. It's because the majority of our vitamin D supplements, again, are not bioavailable. With Super D, you only need 1 or 2 tablets a day. And, case in point, I did a whole study on my own body on this to say, okay, well, my doctor wanted me on 5,000. I went ahead and took 1,000 to 2,000 a day for about 4 months. I went back in and got my blood work to see how I was doing. And she was like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're perfect now. So it's one of those things that is interesting to me because, when we consider our vitamin D deficiency and the link to depression, it's a big deal. And just to think that, man, some of the D supplements you might be taking are not actually even getting into your system or doing anything. So I love ours because you don't have to dose on it. So also Super B is important. B complex, omegas would be really important as well to help with your emotions. So omega Gize is really good. And another supplement that I think is a powerful one that could be really helpful is getting on Unwind. And it's a kid sense supplement, but it has some really excellent supplement, different ingredients in it that help for emotional issues. And so I will tell you, you can take that as an adult. You can take it in the day. If you take it in the day in bright light situations, it will actually help your mind focus. It will help you stay calm. And then when you take it at night with the low light situation, it actually helps you go to sleep. So I know some adult friends who take it twice a day. They take it in the morning to kind of help them cope through stress of the day, and then they take it at night before bed. And that's totally great. And it's a good one. Okay, as far as hormones, we're not going to get into that. That is an entire different section of the test, all on hormones and pregnancy and all the questions that, need to be asked and then answered to understand what you need to be on. But I will say, our emotional cycles obviously have to do with our hormones. So that would be something where, you would want to take the full test so that you can get into that section and really get a better understanding of some of the emotional things that we have going on that have to do with our hormones. Okay, as far as oils, I love teaching imprinting. So if you don't know what imprinting is, you take one of your favorite oils. I would love for you guys to get out whatever your favorite oil is. Just, I'm sure it's right near you. Pick one. I've got a bunch. My whole entire desk is filled with oils. I've got Valor here. So take an essential oil, drip a drop out, and then smell it really deeply. Just get it. And then you can rub the excess on your neck or wherever. I tend to, like I told you guys this many times, but I tend to rub oils in my hair just because it helps your hair grow well, keeps it from breaking. But what's so cool about an oil that you love is that it's automatically going to help you. It's kind of like your blankie, it's like, oh, I just need like my security blanket. And whatever that oil is, you've imprinted. So it could have been frankincense, it could have been lavender, it could have been stress away, it could have been, for me, I have a couple. One of them is white light, one of them is valor, one of them is sandalwood. Like I am a sandalwood psycho, like I love it. And it's one of those things that I will sit there if I'm freaking out and just smell it because I have imprinted with it. And what that means is I love it so much and I've smelled it so much during times when I feel good, that when I feel weird or funky or stressed out or anxious or whatever, I can smell it and it will bring me right back to a feeling of feeling good. And that's a thing that you can do for your pets too, imprinting, and it's a really powerful thing. So that's a good thing to do for your emotional cycles, is to figure out which oils you have already naturally imprinted to. Okay. Number 3, do you drink 1 or more cups of coffee or caffeinated sodas per day? You're like, oh no, here we go with the coffee again. But if the answer is yes, you actually have to replenish some of the things that are kind of getting depleted in your body from the coffee or caffeinated drinks. And so that would be something like Ninja Red with the wolfberry in it, Super C, Super Vitamin D, Super B, and Super Cal Plus. Now remember, what's going on with caffeine is it's depleting your vitamins and minerals as well, not only from the absorption problem, but also because it just naturally will deplete. It tanks your immune system. There's all sorts of problems with drinking coffee. So it tanks your immune system and it tanks your endocrine system. Those are two systems that it highly affects. And so again, I encourage you to potentially try our 30-day coffee detox. The pitchforks come out whenever I talk about getting off coffee, but if you're willing to put a like smidgen of trust in me and just say, okay, look, even if you say, I want to prove her wrong, I'm going to prove Jen wrong. I'm going to do the 30-day no coffee moratorium here. And then I'm going to prove her wrong and say that I was fine either way. Yet have I ever had someone come back to me and say that. It's always a, what in the world? My metabolism has opened up. I'm sleeping better. My brain fog has disappeared. I have more energy during the day. It's like all the things get cleared up when caffeine gets removed. Okay. So just going to encourage that one more time. And just remember, don't take your supplements with this, but you will need to have high antioxidant stuff like Ninja Red, Super C, Super D, Super B, and then that Super Cal Plus. And then, as far as some oils to help with maybe some of those cravings and withdrawing, I mean, there's a bunch of things as far as like peppermint, acacia. We always want to replace whatever you've taken away that you might be addicted to and replace it with something. So I love recommending Dandy Blend. It's like dandelion herbal tea that if you make it stiff, it sort of tastes like coffee. Don't go off coffee when you have a stressful week coming on up. Go off of coffee when you have a good month that's kind of low, low in things where you can probably take naps, get a bath like every night in Epsom salt, right? Get Epsom salt baths to help with that detox process. Get a massage every once in a while. Again, take more naps, like keep napping. Feel free, you're going to have migraine, possibly you're going to have headaches, you're going to have just moodiness because your body's like withdrawing from it. So it's just like getting off of heroin. It's a lot of, potential. Blah. So I just encourage you to try it. Just try it. Okay. Number 4 is, do you drink less than 64 ounces of only water per day? And if the answer is yes, less than 64, first of all, you need to consider how many ounces of water you need. And so most of us need about half our body weight in ounces. And if you work out, it's plus 20. So like I weigh 150 around, so I would need 75 ounces plus 20 if I work out that day. So that's where, I think even if you did like got rid of the morning coffee and did like the morning water. Dr. Minky talks about this. He kind of came up with the red drink recipe, and then also morning water is an important thing in how he teaches. And that's where you wake up and you just drink a bunch of like just water that's room temperature. That's going to help get your water, probably 2 servings of water in. And I would encourage you guys to try that. And some people drink lemon water, all that stuff, but just get more water in. So if you are not hydrating enough, you will want to maybe try Wild Vitality drops, maybe some essential oils that are the Vitality line, like citrus oils are really good in water just to help flavor them, but possibly the red drink. And if you want to learn more about the red drink, go to vitality.edu.com/red drink. And there's like a 30-day challenge on there and like all the ingredients for that. So it's basically water with Ninja Red and sulfurzyme and lime. It's amazing. I drink it most days and it's really a great drink. So that's my second one today. Sometimes I have two. And then consider, let's see, I want you guys to also consider mineral essence. And sometimes when you are not getting hydrated enough, your magnesium levels are low. So mineral essence is important because we've also found out from just the last few classes that many of you are drinking reverse osmosis water. Not a super bad thing, but like if you're experiencing hair loss and brittle nails, your pH might be off and you're drinking basically dead water. It's considered dead water because there's no minerals in it. So you need to add minerals back in. Absolutely. And that's why mineral essence is a really, really good one to consider. Okay, number 5. Do you tend to crave high carbohydrate foods like sweets or breads or pastas and chips right in the afternoon or evening? So think that through. Like when it gets to be like afternoon or evening, is that when you're craving like salty popcorn or chips or sweets or just snack things, bread, it's like, yeah. Okay. If you answered yes, again, you might need that mineral essence for the magnesium, but also you might consider zinc. Zinc is an important factor in that one as well with cravings. So ImmuPro would be really good to take at night before you go to bed. That one has a high amount of zinc in it. Multigreens is a good one to just add in if you're just having, not getting enough greens in your diet. And then Amino Wise and Pure Protein Complete. Those two both have an amino acid in it called L-glutamine, and that is really helpful for people that are on high protein, or excuse me, high sweets, like where they're craving. So to figure out how to get rid of the cravings. So as far as oils for cravings though, peppermint, acacia, we've sort of covered those already, but those are some oils that typically people can smell. Like if you're having a sweet tooth, you can smell them and not super crave as much, okay? So that's number 5. Number 6 is, do you tend to eat a high percentage of animal protein? And the animal protein would be people maybe on keto diet. Maybe you just tend to eat more meat and potato style. Like that would be my husband. It's like, for sure, it's like a meat and a starch, you know? So, and no vegetables at all, which again, it just, some of you have that, taste palette, and that's, it just is what it is. So if the answer is yes, multigreens, would be huge. You also might want to consider alkaline. You want to consider the fact that the high animal protein diet is going to cause your body to be a little more on the acid side, the acidic side. And so that's where getting a little bit alkaline, you need to kind of alkalinize your body, and that's a really helpful supplement for that. And then essential zyme. Now, I know one of the biggest questions is like, I don't know which enzyme to take with which, what food or what I'm doing. So we have different things. I have the supplements desk reference. We even have the supplements, and I don't think I have one here on me, like readily available, but we also have the supplements usage guide, which is exceptionally helpful for those of you who want to really have a rundown of which supplements you should be using for what. I mean, of course, I have every single flyer we've ever produced right here in front of me, and not the supplements one, because I must have pulled it for another lecture. So basically in the book, it has the same thing that's in the chart. And I think that chart is really helpful to just pass out to all your friends, because it talks about digestive enzymes and hormone stuff. And it gives you all the allergens to every single supplement of like what has what in it, right? So that's a really good chart. But as far as understanding your supplement usage guide chart and knowing sort of digestive enzymes, what I like to do is I'll just show this to you guys real quick. It just is a digestive enzyme usage guide chart. It's, for why I'm asking you to take essential zyme is because when I look down, essential zyme is a fairly basic one, and it has bromelain in it. That's like a common one in most enzymes, but basically it has like different enzymes to support high animal protein content, like papain, the betaine HCl. It's the only enzyme that has that, and that's basically hydrochlorine. It promotes the hydrochloric acid in your stomach to help with digestion. It also helps you absorb B12, calcium, iron, and protein. So that one is the only one that has that ingredient in it, if that makes sense. So then it has the pancreolipase and pancreatin and trypsin. And again, that's the only one to have the pancreolipase and the trypsin. And again, these help break down proteins. And helps your pancreas. It supports your pancreas, right? So it's just when you start to break down these enzymes and figure out like, which one should I be taking? I don't know because I don't know your diet. And that's where you're going to have to answer some of these questions to figure out, like, well, like I need Allerzyme for sure, right? If I go out to eat anywhere that might have gluten contamination, I take Allerzyme because Allerzyme has the specific enzyme to break down like gluten particles. And it's the only thing that has kept me from having a really bad response to gluten. So that's where, it's just important to have that chart handy so that you know sort of which enzyme you need. And again, those things can be purchased on 31oils.com. So the number 3, the number 1, oils.com. It's just books and brochures that are all ready to go for you guys. I would also say, well, we talked about multigreens. I would also say when it comes to oils, oils are an interesting thing because they're not really going to help with breaking down proteins or anything like that. But it's always a good idea to just get used to considering, like, how does your body respond to the high protein diet? Do you need digest? Do you need add ginger or fennel? Do you need to add like lemon? There's certain oils that are supportive of your digestive system, generally speaking. Okay, number 7. You guys hanging with me? We're going over this a little more detailed, so that's why we dove right in and we're just getting through it. Okay, do you have irregular bowel movements that can get triggered explosively by certain foods? So if the answer is yes, you definitely need like Mighty Pro or Life 9. Those are both probiotics. You definitely need to figure out your enzyme game. You can't ever have enough enzymes. Enzymes are so, so important. I also recommend getting an omega in. Omega Digest 3 is excellent. Golden turmeric or agilis, super helpful for explosive bowel movements, and super B. So those would be some that I would recommend. And as far as oils are concerned, like Digest, like we just recommended some of the other ones for just regular digestion, but consider like Digest, consider, ginger, fennel, any of those, are actually peppermint, really good for digestion. Okay, number 8. Do you have a hard time falling asleep? Right? I was the girl who legit could not fall asleep. And I couldn't figure out why all of you guys were like, oh, try this oil, try this. And I'm like, none of them work. Oils do not help me fall asleep. It just doesn't work. My brain is like too active and I can't like, everything is too much. So I found ImmuPro. Somebody somewhere recommended ImmuPro. And I'm like, well, isn't that for your immune system? They're like, no, it's actually to help like you fall asleep. And then it helps your body at night kind of recalibrate and fix your immune system, like kind of supports your immune system. So I was like, oh, I mean, how many people were taking ImmuPro during the day and wondering why you were so tired? There's actually a little bit of natural melatonin in there. So just know ImmuPro right before you go to bed. But CBD oil is another really great one. And CBD from Nature's Ultra is my all-time favorite. I think it's one that everybody should try because of their smart spectrum. They've done something different than any other CBD maker on the planet, in that they've added essential oils to their CBD, which makes it more bioavailable. And again, that's the point of all this, is how can we take supplements and use products that work better in and on our bodies. Okay, so I would also recommend Unwind. Unwind is definitely one of those unknown supplements that is just incredible. So the other kind of trick with oils, obviously you can put oils on your big toe, on your head, the back of the neck, spray it on your pillow, use the diffuser. The diffuser takes the positive ions that are kind of stress ions that are in the room and helps placate them to create a more negative ion atmosphere, and that's a good thing. But I will say that as far as oils go, I've found that they help me stay asleep. So like if I take a drop of lavender and stick a drop in my belly button before I go to bed, it helps me stay asleep. So that's where I would encourage you. If you've never tried buttoning, we talk about it all the time in the Human Body and Essential Oils, so you can kind of like research that a little bit, or just make sure you clean your button out. Okay, please make sure you really, really deep clean your belly button, and then you can put the oil in there. But if you don't, remember, supplements, why is it that pharmaceuticals and supplements don't go well together, natural supplements? It's because natural supplements, not synthetic supplements, but natural supplements, their goal is to attack synthetics, and pharmaceuticals are all synthetic, the majority of them. So when you put them together, it's like bad. And so in your belly button, you've got some synthetic fibers built up over years. I mean, again, how many of you really get in there and clean your belly button out on a regular basis? So you might have years worth of like random products you've used over the years that might have had some parabens or petrochemicals, plastics, things like that in your belly button from soaps and lotions and stuff, but also fabric. So you got to clean it out well the first time. Once you do it first time, you'll be fine. But if you don't, I've heard so many people have come back to me and like, oh, that was the worst thing ever. I woke up and my whole entire stomach had a rash on it. It's like, wow, did you clean your belly button out? And they always say no. So I always say that now. Please clean your belly button out. All right. Let's see. So number 9. Do you seem to get common illnesses such as cold or flu or sinus infection, or sore throats, things like that, common illnesses, more than 3 times a year? So do you seem to have like this cyclical cycle of illnesses that kind of pop up all the time? If your answer is yes, that again just goes back to the fact that you have a lower immune system. You're getting kind of bombarded by things. And so we want to support the immune system by adding things like wolfberry, right? Goji berry, and that's Ningxia red. Possibly doing the red drink, which has sulfurzyme in it. Consider turmeric is a really excellent immune supporting thing. So I would say golden turmeric is excellent. Agile Ease, also turmeric, amazing. ImmuPro, we talked about that for sleep, but again, immunity, it has mushrooms in it that are really, really beneficial for your immune system. Vitamin C and doing a C flush is really helpful. So again, in the supplements desk reference, there's a whole thing on how to do a C flush, which is really helpful, especially if you think something's coming. Inner defense is one of my faves, and I love that one. I know some of you have been taking it daily, and I don't necessarily recommend that. It's okay to take daily, but our systems sort of get used to things and it's totally fine. But I think it's a little better used as a balm. And what that means is you just use it when you need it and you use like 2 or 3. So that means like when I'm start feeling right at the very first signs. And I say very first signs because it's important for you all to remember it's like a war. If you've got the army guys there ready to like battle you, and they've got more coming, but if you take them out when their whole regiment is there, you have better chance of winning, right? But if you just kind of sit back and wait for them to fully like suit up and get everybody there ready to battle you, you're done. So it's the same concept with your body, is that like the moment you start feeling sick, well, you have a few sick cells in your body, right? It doesn't feel good, your body's kind of going to work, but they multiply rapidly. So even if you wait an hour, right, the moment you start feeling your health dip, like, oh, I just feel a little off right now. I just feel like tingly. I feel, there's all those signs that some of you know. Our kids don't know them yet. I'm trying to teach Jacob like at the first signs. But like you feel a little scratch in your throat. You feel like a little like, oh, my back kind of aches. I feel that achiness coming on. Like the first signs, that's when you bomb your system. You don't wait until you're sick. And some of you wait because you're like, I need a sick day, so I'm going to wait. Don't do it. None of this stuff works. Natural products like will help shorten it, but it won't knock it out. And I think that's where people get confused on this stuff. I have friends that come over to the door of my house and they're like, I'm sick, can you give me some thieves? And I'm like, no, sorry, get out of here, it's not going to help you. Like at the first signs. So that's where inner defense is really helpful. And again, I'll bomb my system when I feel like it dip. So those are some things. I also highly, highly recommend probiotics. And you can do probiotic bombing as well, which means, at the first signs, you can take a bunch of like Life 9 or Mighty Pro, like, 6, 7, 8, 9 Mighty Pro or Life 9 really is what I dose with. But even enzymes, digestive enzymes are really helpful to keep you well. I mean, Gary Young's all-time #1 favorite product of all Young Living, he was asked, you can pick one item that you carry, one oil or one product, it doesn't matter. It can be a fry pan, whatever it is that we have, you can grab one item and that's all you can have. And what is it? And he said Essential Zyme. Because he popped those things like candy and he traveled a lot. And that's why, because he's like, I just didn't get sick because I was like constantly popping those enzymes. So digestive enzymes are huge. So that's number 9. Number 10, do you exercise less than, oh, and by the way, oils, again, we're sort of kind of loosely covering oils tonight, but oils, it's like the cinnamon bark and the clove and bergamot, citrus oils, lavender, those are all high immune supporting essential oils when taken internally through the vitality line, but also things like thieves vitality. You've got Digize, honestly, is a really great immune supporting oil. If some of our oils like Excite, right? Those are, you know, things that you could put in your Ningxia Red, really good for immune systems. Even like Christmas Spirit, right? Look at the ingredients on that. So those are some things. There's a bunch of different oils that you can use for immune support. All of the herbs like thyme and rosemary and oregano, really excellent immune supporting essential oils when taken internally. Okay, again, that's through the vitality line. Okay, so number 10, do you exercise less than 3 times per week? So if you are only going twice, or once or none, then I'm going to give you some supplements you might consider for a sedentary lifestyle, somebody who typically is like at their desk all the time or just really doesn't go out and do much. And if that's you, just know that there's some essential oils like, or some supplements that you should consider, like digestive enzymes for sure. You definitely need to be upping your digestive enzyme game. Super vitamin D, you need that vitamin D, really helpful to a sedentary lifestyle. Mighty Pro or Life 9, you got to have those probiotics. Omegas, absolutely. So omega Gize 3 and CBD oil has been shown to help people that have a sedentary lifestyle. So as far as oils, I like oils that are helpful with emotional stuff, like motivation, things that help with just, your mind, like clarity, things that help, just peppermint alone, right? Things that just kind of help you get moving. But you can also try lymphatic brushing, and using different oils for your lymphatic system. So there's all sorts of things that you can do there, but that's just a helpful starting point. Number 11, do you get headaches or migraine often? All right, so if you do chronically, right, then this goes back to the caffeine. I know there's like 3 questions with the caffeine, but I need you to consider, like, if you have migraine or headaches, chronic headaches, just consider. And headaches can happen from anything, from hormone changes, from stress, from tension, a food allergy, but can often be that you are drinking coffee. And I don't know what that is, but most of my friends who have headaches or chronic headaches, chronic migraine, they drink coffee or they drink caffeine. They drink Cokes and sodas and all that stuff. And I ask, like, have you ever tried going off coffee? And they're like, that's not the reason. Like, they're so quick to tell me that's not the reason. So I'm going to encourage you as lovingly as I can to consider that is the reason. So, if you have a brain aneurysm, I can't help you. And that's where it gets tricky. That's where you have to remember, I'm not a doctor, and all of this is not meant to diagnose or treat you. This is to help you understand what supplements have been studied to typically help with things. So, for instance, when we talk about headaches, I would never say you should do this, but I can say you should do this. Like, I can say you can get off of this, because again, we're okay to help with lifestyle choice advice. But if I tell you, oh, this will totally take care of your headache, it might not, because you might have a brain aneurysm that I don't know about, right? You might have something going on that's like totally medical that would be really bad for me to assume. So we want to be cautious about that. But it has been studied to show people who have chronic headache need B complex, so super B. They need more magnesium in their diet. So sometimes a depletion of magnesium is the culprit. So mineral essence would be really excellent to add. Super vitamin B, again, studies have shown that D deficiencies can contribute to headaches. Mind-wise or omega Gize, more studies have shown that coenzyme Q10 can be a really excellent factor in helping reduce the amount of migraine that you have, or amount of headaches you have. So those would be some recommendations. Again, if you're trying to step off of caffeine or figure out how to do that, replace it with something for a little bit, like Sleep Tea, Wild Drops Plus Energy, Ningxia Zing, or Nitro. As far as oils, I'm gonna not even go there, because I don't believe they help. I think that they can take down headaches, or if you have a really mild headache, like the CBD Calm, that's helpful for mild. But I'm talking about those of you who have like aggressive headaches, and I've been there. I mean, right? Like deep relief, pan away, peppermint. I'm pouring it all over my scalp, and nothing's working, but my eyes are burning now, right? So that's where we have to really consider, what's the problem here? Like, how can we really help our friends? And it's not necessarily do this oil because that one worked for me, right? So I just want to be clear with that, that oils can help take it down a notch, but typically they're not going to like knock them out. There's usually something major underlying that's going to be causing the problem. And some people, like I said, have food allergies. You don't realize that maybe you have an allergy to corn or dairy that's actually triggering your migraine. So, okay. Number 12. We're almost done with this. So you guys are doing good. Number 12. Do you have painful or achy joints? Kind of like chronically. Think like constantly. If the answer is yes, then I want you to consider things like turmeric, golden turmeric, Ageles, high bioavailable supplements. Sulfurzyme, that's MSM. So you want to get some MSM into your diet. Also, CBD has been like really excellent to help with that as well, right? BLM, which stands for bones, ligaments, and muscles. So that's another potential supplement you might try. But here's the deal. When you're looking at things like sulfurzyme, and this is going to go back to some of the questions of like, what supplements should I take together? What supplements should I take alone? MSM should really be taken alone. That's one of the, so we're talking about that right now. There's a couple, like technically Super B you can take with others, but it's probably better if you can take it a little bit before you're eating, but you don't have to. I'm going to get into some of the details on which supplements kind of don't go together and which supplements go really well together. But sulfurzyme is one that you really shouldn't be eating with food. MSM is fine if you do eat it with food, but it absorbs a little better when you don't eat it with food. Whereas like Ageles absorbs a little better with a little bit of fat. So I might take a handful of nuts with Ageles or golden turmeric. So just a thought. Okay, and then as far as essential oils, obviously like products like Cool Azul pain cream is really helpful for many people. The Cool Azul, just regular essential oil. Panaway, awesome. Also Deep Relief, right? There's a bunch of different things you could try. One of my favorite things for people who have something, right? Something that's just kind of always there and kind of maybe achy is to take a layering method and use copaiba first and rub it on for about 20, 30, 60 seconds. Just give yourself a little rub wherever the spot is. And then a drop of Panaway, rub it for about 60 seconds. Then a drop of lavender, rub it for about 60 seconds, and then finish it with a drop of peppermint, rub it for 60 seconds, and then you can put like some carrier oil on. I typically use jojoba oil as body carrier because it won't stain. I don't want it staining my clothes. I don't want it staining my couch or my sheets. Jojoba oil is a wax technically, and it will clean up well. It won't stain. So just a side note there. Okay, number 13, are your nails brittle and do they break easily? If you said yes to that, then adding that MSM into your daily routine with sulfurzyme or doing the red drink, really helpful. Getting some biotin in the form of a B complex. So Super B is excellent. Magnesium is also a potential culprit there for brittle nails. So mineral essence. Super C chewables at night, specifically at night. If you take those at night, it's going to help not only with your nails, but it's going to help with your skin and your hair. So that one specifically at night is really excellent. We have two different Super Cs, but the chewables have the basically juiced and dried fruits. And then, so you're getting all of those phytonutrients as opposed to the Super C tablet is like isolated C that would be good for like a C flush. So you can crush Super C tablets and stick it in your drink and have this crazy like tangy drink, and it's really good. And then so as far as oils, we've done this before. If you take like lemon or frankincense or basically any oil and put it on your cuticles and just rub it in like at night, do that, and that's actually really helpful as well. As far as number 14, it sort of goes along with 13 because it's talking about hair. So do you want to grow healthier hair? For sure, you're going to want to get off of all sulfates in your shampoo and conditioner products. So I love our shampoo line. I have been kind of rotating through the shampoos that we just launched, brand new ones, the new reformulations. By far, I've decided my favorite is still the Copaiba Vanilla. It makes my hair super soft and manageable, and it's amazing. So that one, really good. So again, it's all natural. That's what we want to do. We want to get rid of all the synthetic stuff. So that's something, putting oils in your hair. I recommend you guys going and watching Dr. Ollie's talk on the human body and essential oils. He talks about peppermint and all sorts of other oils that you can rub on your scalp. really helpful to help your kind of follicles kind of come back to life. But as far as supplements, I would encourage you to consider Illuminize. Illuminize is really good for your hair. It's our vitamin A supplement and it's excellent. Sulfurzyme, MSM, also known to help your hair grow well. Super B for the B complex, again with the Super C chewables at night. And then Super D, Super Vitamin D, right? And Amino Wise. Amino Wise is really helpful for your hair. Okay, number 15. And I did say put oils in your hair, right? Just we put all sorts of things in our hair, right? I mean, for real, it's like lavender, cedarwood, copaiba, rosemary, frankincense, myrrh, anything that you would put on your face, put it on your hair. So that's all good. For sure, sandalwood, right? Okay, so number 15 is, do you smoke? Are you around someone who smokes, or did you grow up with a smoker in the home? And so if the answer is yes to that, you're going to need high antioxidants, which is like Ningxia Red, Super C, Super Cal Plus, Amino Wise for vitamin E. And then as far as oils are concerned, all essential oils are antioxidants. They all want to come and attack any free radicals in your body. So just use your oils, right? So all of them are. So that's the questionnaire. But what I wanted to do, I'm going to answer a few other questions that came in because it's super important. But what I want to help you understand is, what are the other questions, right? Like, I'm going to give you a sampling of what these, because there's over 70 more questions, right? You could actually take the full wellness map. And it's basically talking about prescription medications. We need to know are you on prescription medications? Are you taking blood thinners? These are things that are important to note, right? So like if you are taking, say, blood thinners, you got to double check all of your supplements, because you have to consider avoiding certain supplements like turmeric and coenzyme Q10, right? Cayenne fruit. You can't consume certain essential oils if you're on blood thinners, right? And so that's where this gets into a deeper analysis of you personally. It talks about actual depression medication. Are you taking depression medication? Because if you are, there's certain foods you should be avoiding, and there's certain things you should be avoiding, right? So not supplements, but in the case of foods and other things that are processed. So there's things that you might not know about. Are you taking bioidentical hormones? It's like, well, what are those and how would they interact with, say, our hormone supplements? And those are things that will help you understand what you can and can't do. Are you diabetic? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have high cholesterol? Questions that need to figure out what's going to support that. What do typical doctors recommend when you have something like that? And what things to maybe stay away from, right? Specifically high blood pressure. There are some supplements you want to stay away from. Do you have are you diagnosed with like an autoimmune disorder? Do you have any form of autism, right? These are specific questions that are, again, going to help you determine which supplements should I stay away from and which supplements should I take. Again, based on doctor recommendations, right? Again, I'm not a doctor. This test is based on research, okay, of what people have researched and what scientific studies have actually proven would be helpful and would not. So there's all sorts of questions that are asked in here. Even like if you have any metal fillings, right? Because we talk about, do you want to do a metal detox? Do you have anything like, did you go through chemotherapy and need to now detox from metal? It's all sorts of questions around this. There's a whole huge section on hormones, asking about where you are in your hormone cycle, not period, but like your actual like menopause, perimenopause, are you postmenopause? Have you had your thyroid removed, right? There's like, has your uterus been removed? Are you trying to get pregnant? All that stuff is really important to kind of give you the well-rounded wellness map. But then it also goes into diet and exercise. And the diet, it's like, are you keto? Are you vegan? All the questions that need to be answered. Also going into your body mass index and really helping you understand, like, where am I? Where should I be? And how do I get there? It talks about processed sugar. How much, like, are you eating more than 25 grams of processed sugar a day? And if you are, what do we need to do to get that down? So there's so many more questions. Like, we even have a whole section on sleep, right? So So I encourage you guys to consider joining us because we are doing this for a year. Normally I charge $250 for a full complete wellness map. So it's $250 for one wellness map. You are totally welcome just to do that if you just want one, but it makes more sense to do the $319 because that $319 is going to give you two wellness maps 6 months apart. It's going to give you text access to me where you're going to be able to text me with personal questions and try and figure some stuff out. But it's also going to give you access to all of our Monday night open Q&A. So we do this every single Monday night where we get on and we do a live like Q&A. So you can get more questions answered. You can hear from the group. Plus, I'm throwing in the Vitality Lifestyle Coaching Program, which is an $800 value. I'm throwing in the Team Vitality group, which is really hard to get into. And we're so excited because we've got some new members in there now that are like, rah, rah, right? Like super excited. And it's always fun to have that new energy. And we really don't open that. We open that up once a year. So it's like, it's a cool thing that we're allowing you in kind of mid-year. It's usually April. And it's going to be really fun because we're going to do a year from July 1st to July 1st. So if this is something that you're like, okay, that test was amazing and it's only going to get better. I mean, I've had people that are buying this just to get the wellness maps for their family members as well. So like, you know, let me sign my husband up too. He's not going to text you, but you know, maybe you could use his text or whatever, just so that he can get that wellness map as well. And get two of them. Okay, so here's what's really cool. And I'm going to answer some more questions here in just a minute. But because this has become sort of this fun tribe of people, we have about 20%, about probably a little less than 20% seats available left because I can only take a certain amount of you. And I talked with Tim. Mr. Tim is my husband, right? You guys may know him as the shipper. He ships all my books out and stuff, but I talked to him about, you know, what could be manageable. How can I do this moving forward? Because again, that's my heart, is to help you guys as best as I can, to allow you to text my actual cell phone. Like, how do you get that kind of one-on-one support from somebody who's basically you know, my brain is an encyclopedia of essential oils and supplements, right? So how can I help in that area? Again, not a doctor, not diagnosing and treating, but I can tell you based on what the supplements are for, I know exactly which and when to take all of these. That's the question you guys have. Like, where do I put these all in? Like, how do I take them? So we're going to get that in just a second. But do you see this little necklace here? This is a shungite necklace. It's a diffuser necklace, a shungite diffuser necklace. And we don't sell these. We don't, you know, this is a new thing that we've been talking about, electromagnetic radiation, and just, you know, making sure that we're safe with stuff on our person. And I asked him, I'm like, can we do this for the people who sign up, all of the people? Because we had a special where it was just, you know, one day, if you sign up in the next 24 hours, you're going to get it. And I had so many people like, can I please, like, can you just like squeeze me in? Is there any way I can get that shungite necklace? And I thought, you know, what's really fun about our community is that we're a tribe. And like when we go to convention together, which we will go to convention next year together, we're like this cool little tribe of cross-line members of just everybody loving each other. So I thought, how cool would it be if all of us who do this year-long program have the same necklace? So again, I talked to Tim and he was like, yeah, it's fine, because that means he has to ship these all out. But yeah, so you guys have until July 1st. So basically you have July 1st is the last day you can sign up. Now, if we hit capacity, it might say just sold out, which means you can't get it. But up until July 1st, anybody who signs up for the 319 program, it doesn't matter what country you're from either, I'm gonna ship you a shungite necklace that's handmade by me. I sit there and make them all. So do know that, as if I don't have anything else to do. But it is a really fun, relaxing thing for me to do, that I'm not sitting Netflixing. I'm just like making jewelry, and it's awesome. So I want you guys to consider this, because we are going to go over, you know, why you may not be absorbing vitamins and minerals, what medical interactions could be happening, you know, what you should be taking together, what you shouldn't, all that stuff, and how to choose different things. So I want to just kind of end with the, you know, couple questions here and then go into a question and answer. If you're interested in learning more about this program, go to vitality.edu.com/askjen. Okay, so if you resonate with me and you think this is going to be a good thing for you, and you want transformation this year, and you want somebody to kind of kick you in the butt, say you're going to do this, you're going to get better, you're going to, you know, whatever it is, You know, some of the things is like, you know, I'm working with a gal right now who's trying to get pregnant, and it's like, okay, there's some stuff she's going to have to do, which is like auditing her entire house for synthetic things. And there's probably a lot that she doesn't even realize. And it's like, how you don't know what you don't know, you know, like get rid of your memory foam mattress. I mean, what? Right? It's stuff like that, that it's like so potentially bad for you. So I encourage you guys to go to that vitality.edu.com/ask Jen. And then there's also a payment.
You hungry?
Payment plans that you have available to you. One is just all up front. The other one is 2 payments of $180. The other is getting you guys, if you wanted a 6 months, same as cash, you would just have to apply for PayPal credit and then, you know, check out for that. So that is something you can consider. Okay. And I want to just answer. So if there's any questions about this, we'll answer them in just a minute, but I wanted to see about, you know, figuring out which ones technically can be taken together. I know you had some questions about like Life 9 and supplements at night. So Life 9 you can take right after a meal, right? They changed the label on that, and some of you are so conditioned to taking it like right before bed on an empty stomach. But generally speaking, 1 to 2 hours after dinner, you can take your Life 9, and then 1 to 2 hours after you take your Life 9, you would be going to bed. And at that point, you can take, you know, golden turmeric. You can take inner defense if you wanted to with that one. You can take ImmuPro with that one if you wanted to. You could take all 3 of those if you wanted to. The only supplement that you really should take alone on an empty stomach at night, meaning like the you know ImmuPro, you would want to take 30 minutes before, and then like right before, like watch the clock 30 minutes. Okay, then take your Thiamin, right? So if you are on Thiamin, that's what you would take alone. That's kind of the only weird supplement that you have to take alone at night on an empty stomach. So, you know, but as far as others, we talked about sulfurzyme needs to be in between meals on its own, empty stomach. There's a couple others that mention like you should do this on an empty stomach, like ICP daily, but you know, it's okay with food, but they want you to take it like first thing in the morning. Also Super B, typically I look at a multivitamin. If you look at any multivitamin on the market, or if you look at Master Formula, which is our multivitamin, what's in it? You take that all together. Well, it's all the letter vitamins typically, and it's like omegas and greens, right? There's all sorts of things in there that go well together. So you can really learn a lot by looking at a multivitamin. The things that shouldn't be taken together would be like your hormone supplements. So typically if you're taking like PD80/20, just take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, really, and then take the rest with breakfast, and then you know move from there. Sulfurzyme in the middle of the day, and then at lunch you might need to take some others. As far as supplements that go really well together, like I said, is just looking at all the letter vitamins. But if I think about like Super Cal Plus, Cardiogize, it's a vitamin K supplement with the calcium, Super Vitamin D, those 3 go really well together. So I often take those 3 together with my Super B. So I'll take those 4 at breakfast, and then I'll take them again at lunch, right? I split them. So there's 2 pills per serving, but I split them. And that again is based on research knowing that, you know, certain supplements actually are better if they're spread out in the day as opposed to taking them all at once. Some of you is like, you need to take them all at once. And that's okay. But as far as like specialty supplements, again, that goes to like hormones, hormone supplements, any of the kind of like digestive supplements, sleep supplements, they're usually kind of things on the outskirts. But as far as digestive enzymes, all of the digestive enzymes but one should be taken right before the meal. So like Allerzyme, Detoxzyme, and Essential Zymes 4 need to be taken right before the meal. Whereas Essential Zyme is that hard, thicker capsule that is taken an hour before your meal. Now, if you don't mind chewing them, because you can chew them, they taste nasty. They're a little bit hard, but you can crush them really easy and put them in a drink and swallow them or something. But you know, if you don't like swallowing that big pill, you can chew them. I've done it before. It's nasty, but it's okay to do. And Gary actually designed it to be chewable if you had to. Again, not the greatest thing, but you know, our digestive enzymes are our saliva, and then they go down into the stomach, and our digestive enzymes are all throughout our whole entire body. So part of the thing with this program, just to kind of give you a little bit more information, is that my goal is to teach you how to do this for others. That's always been my goal. It's never to keep all the information for myself. And you know that 90% of everything I do online is free, right? And that's my goal, is to really get people to be healthy. I have a lofty goal that I want to get 1 million people healthy for my lifetime. I want to affect 1 million people. We're at 252,000 people, but I know not all of them are on there all the time. So I know, like, okay, my goal is not the numbers that are visual. God knows, like, my prayer is that there would be 1 million lives affected by my helping you in a positive way, to clear your mind, to clear your body, to be able to get pregnant, to be able to not have these crazy mood swings, right? To understand what your body's doing and why, and for you to take back your health. That's the goal. And I want you to be so confident and so excited about your results that you are now teaching others. You are helping others get well. And that's the domino effect that's so powerful. And we can't get everyone healthy if we don't spread the word, right? And again, it goes back to me as a Christian. I think about my end game, and of course, I think about how it is that I share the gospel, or how it is that I'm living my life in a positive way. I don't want to do anything. Think that through. Any religion, anybody of you that is any religion, you don't want to share with anyone when you're not feeling good. You don't want your light to shine. Forget about it. You just want to, like, hide under your bed sheet, you know? And I have found that, like, when I decided to start eating bad and eating chocolate and candy and whatever it is that, like, I'm addicted to, I just, like, right? Reese's peanut butter cups. I haven't had a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I think it's been almost been a year. In September it will be a year, so whatever, however many months that is. And I just won't eat it. I'm over it. Like, it's those I'm very addicted to, and I just can't eat them. So I know that they're poison to me, and when I eat them, I gain tons of weight. My moods are terrible. And I want you to find what your triggers are. What are your triggers? I want you to help others find what their triggers are. I want you to help your family. I want you to have a brain that is, like, thinking and working, right? So I'm excited for this, because I think this is going to be one of the best things you can do. Remember, you have until July 1st to figure out if you want to do this. Pray about it, talk to your significant other, see if it's something that you guys can do. I have said that if you are joining and you don't want to do 2 wellness maps, you can do one for you and one for your significant other. It would have to be an actual husband or a child that lives in your home. But I highly recommend that you get both, because it's important for you to see progress. You got to do one and then do another one in 6 months. That would be $500 just for that. So just know you're already saving a huge amount of money just by getting the program, if you just want the wellness map. All right. So are there any questions? I can kind of take some minutes now. We went to an hour. That was our program. I covered the test only. So I think that this was really helpful for you guys. I hope it was. I didn't share this, which I got to kind of back up and let you guys know. Take your test now, add up all the yes answers, right? And then see not only how many yeses, but because our first test, I said add them up, and then if you have like 2, you're fine. And I realized you're really not. It's just telling you which supplements you need. If you had only 2 answers that you had yes to, there were supplements on those, so it's telling you that you might need those. So what you want to do is see what's a common factor. So if you don't know where to start, if like Super B kept coming up, well, maybe you should start there, and it's a really inexpensive supplement to start with. If like Ningxia Red or Sulfurzyme kept coming up in your yeses, again, look at the ones that had the same one over and over again, and just figure out which one was like the most and start there. You don't need to take all of them. And that's a question that I get all the time, is like, I feel like I'm taking too much. You might be. And that's where us going over all of your supplements that you are taking and what you might need, we can decide, well, if you're on master formula, there's some things you may not need. I know people that are on master formula taking Super B. Well, you really don't need to be, but you might feel better on it. So that's fine. Or master formula with multigreens. Again, a little bit of a similarity, like Super C and S, there's crossover. So it's figuring that one out and what you might need to get. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. And I can see, if you can raise your hand, I can see and I can call on you. That's usually how we do things here. This is being recorded, but it's also being live streamed into the Facebook group, The Human Body and Essential Oils. Please get in there. Thank you, Bertha. She got my Undomesticating God book. I do write about spiritual matters as well, so faith-based stuff. So thank you for that. what questions do you guys have? Sleep Essence or ImmuPro, you should not take both. They both have melatonin in them, so pick one. Sleep Essence is great, but it's an all oil supplement. It's essential oils with melatonin, whereas ImmuPro has more immune supporting things in it. So I like ImmuPro personally. But yeah, you can take golden turmeric and Agiles. I am right now on the, I think what, day 5 or 6 of not taking Agiles. That is my all-time favorite supplement, all-time, hands down. Have to have that because if I can't walk. Like if I'm not on Agiles, I'm like hobbling. It's awful, noticeable hobbling. And so I have such intense like joint pain. So Agiles knocks it out. Beautiful, right? I love it. So they're all saying golden turmeric, brand new supplement. So I went off Agiles, fully on golden turmeric. I am taking it and being really specific with turmeric. You have to stay regimented. You have to take it like clockwork and don't miss a day. Day 3, I felt a little bit of like twinge of like, oh, my Agiles is gone, and I haven't since. So the golden turmeric will take a little bit of time, but it really wasn't that big of a transition, and I feel great. I feel nothing. So I don't know that I need both. I think golden turmeric is less expensive, so that's a plus. So yeah, can you add sulfur zyme to a smoothie? Yeah, you can. But again, you want it. It's better on its own with not food, like with not protein processable food in your system. But you can, and some people do. And you should always be taking turmeric at night. I'm just reading questions on the side. So at night, right before bed, is the best time to take any type of turmeric. Just saying. Okay, so Stacy and Patty have their hands raised, so you can unmute and ask your question. Whoever wants to go first, whoever unmutes first.
Hey, Jen. So, my dad just got out of the hospital with a really bad kidney infection, and I bought him K and B, and I bought him Ningxia to get him started, just to get him some antioxidants from being in the hospital and not knowing what they're giving him. Is there a good way to tell him to take the two, or can he take them together, or is there like a better way to do that? Or have you ever done anything with K and B? Because I'm still fairly new to oils, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So he's on K and B, and which one did you get him? What was the other one?
I got him the red drink, just because I was worried about him not getting antioxidants being in the hospital for like 7.5 weeks.
And you're not talking about Ningxia Red, you're talking about Sulfur Zyme and Ningxia Red.
No, I'm talking about, it's called K and B.
No, I'm talking about the red drink, because you said I got him the red drink, but that is actually 2 supplements in one. Technically 3.
It's the Ningxia, whatever the Ningxia drink.
So Ningxia Red is not the red drink. So, and I had this question come up today, and I thought that's so funny. People are thinking the red drink is Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is on its own amazing. You just have to, really good, like you said, for antioxidant support. Excellent. The red drink is something that a doctor kind of came up with to take sulfur zyme, which is helpful to cleanse your liver and skin and all that stuff, and put it with Ningxia Red to help hydrate you. So if he adds a bunch of water to it, you got to drink more water, and lime, which helps again with your liver, lime essential oil. So Ningxia Red on its own is great. K&B tincture is an excellent for your kidney, right? Really helpful to just kind of flush your system out. I think those are absolutely great supplements to have him on. So,
okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Patty, go for it.
Jen, I have been or was on low dose aspirin, and I have stopped it because I bruise easily and everything. So I know that it's thinning the blood, but is that considered a blood thinner? Like when I'm reading my supplements, can I take, since I stopped the aspirin, can I now take our supplements? That's why I did it. I stopped the aspirin so I could start taking this. So
yeah. I'm hoping you talk to your doctor about this, because if you're on
my cardiologist and I are on the same page.
Okay, and yes, if you are on a baby aspirin regimen or something like that, it's technically a blood thinner. And so my mom is on that, so I'm always telling her, like, look, Mom, you just have to really pay attention. So I'm gonna mute you guys because someone's unmuted again. There's some background noise. Basically, when you get into any type of blood thinner, whether it's baby aspirin or Coumadin or warfarin, right, like the big ones, you have to consider that some essential oils and some supplements like turmeric or coenzyme Q10, they're anticoagulants. So what happens is it's like a doubling up effect. So you're going to feel really dizzy. So for instance, if you're on a, and this is where it gets hard because like you might not know this, maybe you're on a blood thinner, maybe you're just on aspirin regimen, and you go somewhere and somebody says, oh, you should put peppermint in your water, try this. Well, you do it, you drink the peppermint. Well, peppermint acts as an instant like blood thinner. Like peppermint in your water will, I mean, it's wild, and you'll feel like kind of woozy, right? And that's an indication that you've just doubled up. So it's not like you're going to have any major issues, but let's say we're driving a car when that happened. That could be problematic. So it's kind of a thing of pay close attention to how you're feeling. And I think if you're on a small amount of aspirin, it's not a big deal, but you could easily say, okay, well, let's try like a drop of peppermint vitality in my water every day for a month, and then go back to your cardiologist and have him or her check your blood work and see what's going on with you and see how it goes. As far as the supplements, I mean, it's just a matter of things doubling up, and you just have to pay attention. I hope that's helpful. Good. All right, Deb.
Yes, I was just wondering, you mentioned about mattresses. Is there a good one to buy?
There just depends on what you're looking for. So like we went down the road of looking at the organic latex, because the Talali latex is, there's no, I'm highly allergic to latex. So I went in actually to a place, I think it was the avocado store. We have one here. We actually have the mattress, they make them here. So I was able to go in. We didn't end up buying one, but I was surprised. Like that's really, I actually ended up buying a pillow from them. So they're latex pillow, and I haven't had a single issue with organic Talali latex. So do know that. And that's probably one of the best things that is not going to be a problematic for off-gassing is a huge problem with mattresses, but it's, you know, it's an organic natural foam as opposed to getting memory foam, which is synthetic petrochemical foam. So the other thought process is this: if you have a memory foam mattress and you love it, just get like organic cotton like topper mattress cover pad, and then put another one like something else, like put some blocking, not plastic, but it has to be like some organic linen stuff that you're using, and make sure your sheets are like organic cotton, you know, like you're blocking it as best you can, so that you're not getting the fumes or the off gassing or anything. Most new mattresses have very heavy off gassing, and that's one of the biggest problems. Even like, so we ended up getting an IntelliBed because we went back and forth on looking at Purple, right? Purple is the knockoff of IntelliBed. And you know, all of it, everybody claims that it's like super good. There was some intense off gassing. I mean, I had to leave the windows open. I was diffusing in the room, and it took about 2 weeks for that plasticky new smell, which I'm like, they said that there wasn't any, but there definitely is. And I'm just really sensitive to smells. So, and we don't, you know, that's one of the things, and it's fine now. I love it, you know, but everyone's different. So if someone has told you Purple mattress, I personally would say go with IntelliBed, because they're the original makers that are in hospital beds so that people don't get bed sores. But organic cotton mattresses, the reason we didn't go with the avocado was not only their shipping times were ridiculous, but it wasn't like, it just felt like a mattress like any other mattress, you know. That when I got on IntelliBed, I was like, well, this feels different and really comfortable. Like I don't feel any pressure points. So everyone's different. You got to figure out what's right for you. So,
yeah, that is too funny. I bought an IntelliBed, it had to be 20 years ago. And they were making them here in Calgary, or well, around here. And yeah, the reason why I'm asking is my daughter is 7 months pregnant and she just bought a new mattress. So I'm kind of afraid for her. Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, and I like that IntelliBed had like a 25-year warranty. We buy a brand new bed like every 5 to 7 years, and it's like they're so expensive. So we were excited to have 25. We'll see. We'll just see if it lasts that 25 years. Okay, Valerie, your hand's raised.
I cannot use any of the oils neat. Even if I use Endoflex down my throat, I break out in rashes. And somebody thought maybe it's because my pH is off. Can you help me there?
Yeah, I would ask a quick question. Are you doing the business side?
Yes, yes,
And have you been doing the business for like 2 years?
yes.
Are you a silver leader
No, ma'am.
or executive?
I'm star.
Okay, that's okay. But you've been doing the business for 2 years.
Yes.
See, that was a guess, right? I got that one right. And you're doing the business. And when did you start Young Living? 2 years ago?
Probably, I was getting products from my daughter when I first started. So that was probably 4 years ago.
Okay. But you got like all in 2 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is kind of a weird thing. I say silver because sometimes it's the women who get in and they are like, let's go. And you're consuming oils for 2 years straight. So have you been doing like Vitality, like orange and lemon and different oils in your water every single day?
No, ma'am.
What are you consuming every single day?
I do supplements every day. I do Progestin Plus every day. I do Clary Sage every day. I do Valor every day.
Wait, back up because I asked consume. What essential oils over the past 2 years, not now, but in the past 2 years, have you consumed more than you think you should have? I mean, you maybe not know how much you should have, but have you been doing consuming of oils?
You mean taking internally?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Okay, at all for the past 2 years?
Frankincense occasionally as needed and Digest.
Nothing in your water?
Lemon or grapefruit or lime.
And how often do you put lemon, grapefruit, or lime in your water?
Not every day.
Like how often though? Like how many times a week?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Okay. The thing is, and again, it could be any number of things, but the reason I'm asking these kind of leading questions is because whenever you have a dermal response that's super weird and doesn't make any sense, there's a couple of reasons for that. One can be that you've overconsumed for 2 years, and the 2-year mark is when your body will say that's enough, like just take a break, and it kind of will cause you not to be able to use any oil, and it's really, really frustrating. So, everyone's different. So this is not like a hard and fast rule. It's just that's a potential answer. So for some of you who are experiencing a weird response to any oil at all, because that's what she said, I can't use any oil at all, I get like rash. Usually it's your body saying you have to stop and let your liver has to kind of get all this stuff out that you might have put too much. And oils are powerful. And I think that that's where this kind of between, like one of the books, French Aromatherapy, goes into this whole thing about consuming too much versus consuming what's okay to consume versus the aromatherapy industry saying you should never consume. I'm not that person. I think it's really important that you do consume essential oils, but you have to in moderation and know when you're doing what. And I think when you get into the business, people go crazy and start consuming a lot because you're hosting parties and you're showing people how to drink it and how to put it in your water, and you just tend to do too much. And that can cause a negative response 2 years later. Your body just says, okay, enough, which means you have to stop using essential oils internally for about 4 months. That's a typical reset of your whole entire blood will be reset in 4 months. The other side of that, though, because she's not over consuming, is stress. And remember, essential oils attack anything in your body that is not good. They want to regulate your they're like the best army guys to come into your body to be the free radical. They're going after all the free radicals and they're killing them. When you're highly stressed, your body is highly acidic. It's more acidic. It has all these free radicals more. Your stress hormones are coursing through your body, and the essential oils attack that. So it's very common when you are dealing with any kind of either chronic stress or just unusual stressful seasons to end a season with like, why can't I use any oils? And even my supplements make me feel sick, is because you're having a higher ratio of die-off, which could be considered detox, but not when you're highly stressed. It is literally a chemical reaction with your body's hormones and the oils. So that's where I always say you gotta just kind of try to de-stress. So those are a couple reasons. If you're not stressed out and you're not consuming, you know, it might just be whatever. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, there's multiple reasons for potential reactions, but hopefully that's helpful.
Jen,
All right, go for it. Who's talking? I see Stacy's hand.
Holly, could it be that she's using synthetic products on her skin?
That is a potential, but again, usually business builders at this point aren't. They understand the difference of, like, if you're putting on a lotion, say you have a lotion from Bath and Body Works that you just love and you can't get rid of. Well, that is riddled with synthetics. And the problem with that is if you're using it and then putting oils on, it's like the belly button thing where it's World War III on your skin because the essential oils are attacking any of the synthetics. So that is a potential, definitely. And again, I didn't go there because it's a situation of she's doing the business for 2 years. But yeah, I mean, how many of us, like, up until I think 4 years ago, I was still using normal deodorant, and it's the secret brand deodorant that is like, I just don't want, you know, now I use salt because I've totally detoxed from it, but it's one step at a time. And we have to understand that we're not all going to just get rid of everything all at once. We have to really kind of think, okay, what can I get rid of next? What can I get rid of next? What am I putting on my body? You know, what am I using cleaning supplies? That's the other thing. Are you still using certain synthetic cleaners that you're spraying around and you're getting molecules in the air? If you can smell it, it's landing on your skin. So those synthetic molecules, normally in the form of petrochemicals like plastics and fragrance, are what's causing, you know, the fragrance synthetic molecules are such a big problem that people don't realize. Getting rid of that is huge. So yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention as well. Stacey, go for it. This will be our last question, and then we'll end the call just so you guys can, like, get the replay and watch it over again.
A quick thing, can you take Super Count Plus and vitamin D together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
those go really well together. So I actually pair those two with CardioGize as well, because SuperCal Plus is really good with vitamin D, with also vitamin K. So those go really well together. So,
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
So this is where I want to encourage you to join. Sign up as soon as possible, because here's the thing: if you are basically in the line of the people who have signed up, that's when you get your oil map. I can't do them all in the same day, but that's, you know, we're going to be going through them. You're going to get, we're going to have a video this Thursday night. So you also, you know, if you just, Thursday night is the 1st, so you have until the 1st to join, but we're going to be doing a live video for all the people who join the Ask Jen program so that I can go over how it's all going to work. And I really want you to be there. I have yet to have somebody join something of mine and say, this wasn't worth it, I want my money back. It doesn't happen. So I just encourage you to consider this one mindfully, prayerfully, and see if this is something you want to do. Again, we have limited seats. We have about a little less than 20% of the seat capacity left. Join with friends. There is a thing on the site, the vitalityedu.com/askjen. It says, like, if you get a few of your friends to join, you get some extra bonuses. If you get like 5 of your friends to join, you get even extra bonuses. So that in and of itself is worth it to do it with friends. I'm encouraging you to do it with friends because it's better with friends, because you're going to have a better accountability too. So are there any questions about the program before we kind of end our time here? And you can just unmute and ask, and I'll see if there's any questions on the side.
When will you offer it next, Jen? Because this time's not possible for me.
Yeah, and I've had people say that, like, they want to join the next round. What's going to happen is, my biggest fear of all time, as I started educating you guys like 5 or 6 years ago, was being inundated with too many questions. And I get a lot of questions from you guys that I just don't have time to answer. So what has happened though over the years is realizing that my own customers who have my cell phone, they're very respectful of my time. And what that means is I just, you know, I assumed I would be bombarded with like just random things. I'm going to set up some ground rules so that you understand like what to text me and what to save for a Monday night call and what to share in the group, because I want you to get the most out of like how to ask a question well, so that you get the best like use for your time. And I feel like there's a way for me to do this that's well. So to answer your question is, if over the next 6 months, I feel like, okay, this has worked really well, and I probably could take some more people on. I will know, right? I will be able to know like how many more people we could take on, and then we would start, I would offer it in 6 months. However, that's not a guarantee, because it might be something where, you know, I'm like, okay, people are asking too many questions, right? I have a specific amount of questions you're allowed to ask on text. But again, that's like, we're not getting into like crazy, weird, long entailed conversations. I'm going to teach you guys how to get, like I said, you know, like how to really ask and when to ask, because some of you are in different time zones and I want to make sure that I get back to you in a timely manner. So I just need to make sure that we are at the capacity that works. So that might mean that next year, and I don't know how many of these people will re-sign up. I mean, our Team Vitality group has a very high retention rate, just because of what you get. And I'm not even sharing all the stuff that you get. This is where it kind of gets tricky, is that because you'll be in Team Vitality for a year, you have access to hundreds of social media posts. You have access to like tons of scripts and things that you can use for your teams. I mean, it's almost like 3.5 years of content in there that you now have access to. You also have the ability to get, like, this is just a little side note, but 31 Oils, Tim always does, Team Vitality gets first dibs on anything. So it's like they get like a day jump on all of you guys so that they get their stuff first. Right now, he's on a 2-week out shipping. It's just him. You know, he's in there all day long shipping stuff to you guys for the convention sale. And, you know, that's what happens when we go on sale. But the Team Vitality members, sometimes it's like, okay, you guys order and I'll sign your copy, because I know it's Team Vitality because they ordered on a day that nobody else had access to it. They get a discount. This convention, they got an extra discount. So they got extra off of our already crazy prices, right? So that's one of the things that like they get access to that's a little bit different. And they get access to things that like are printables that I don't have anywhere else. So it's one of the things that they realize, like, oh wow, like we're actually getting a lot. So you're going to get into that group on Facebook and see the like plethora of extra stuff that happens in there. So it's pretty cool and it's a lot of fun. But you're just going to go to vitality.edu.com/askjen. If you are not signed up for my emails, just subscribe to my emails. You can go to vitality.edu.com/map, and that will kind of take you to the subscription thing to this, meaning so that at least you can get updated on the replay, like if you want to see the replay. But this is also in Team Vitality tonight, or into the Human Body and Essential Oils tonight. So we did that instead. Okay. Yeah, you can join Team Vitality, but it's $240 right now. So I don't recommend doing that. I would say just get the program, because then you're getting the Vitality Lifestyle Coaching Program plus the texting and all that. We do have like a $20 a month thing that gets you to the Monday night calls. If you just want that. So there's access points if you want something smaller, just to kind of get in and do the, you know, monthly, and then just kind of do what you want when you want. But honestly, like $319, you could probably figure out how to do the 2 payments, or, you know, however you want to do that. So hopefully that makes sense. But I want you guys to get this shungite necklace. So everybody that joins before July 1st will get a shungite necklace. We actually cut off registration on July 1st. So basically July 2nd, no more registration. So, and then we're going from there. All right, you guys, this has been excellent. So we didn't do like 2.5 hours. All the other ones have been a little bit longer. I did allow this recording to be everywhere so that you guys have, meaning it's there in its entirety. And I will go and answer any questions that that you guys have on the Facebook feed. So if you have a question that I didn't ask here, ask it on the Facebook feed, and that's it. So I appreciate you guys so much for being here and being a part of my wellness journey. You guys have taught me more than you know, and the graciousness that you've had, not only with me, but with my husband. When we see you at convention, you guys are always like, hi Jen, but I want to see Tim. I mean, that just warms my heart. So Tim's like this behind the scenes, but he's my babe and I love him. So thank you guys for your support with him and being patient with him. He's getting you guys fun gifts. Always look, he's putting stuff in there for you guys for the packages that you have been ordering from him from convention sale. All right, you guys be blessed. And my son too. Yeah, he's in camp right now. I actually cried over that one. He's actually at summer camp, and I'm like, I miss my baby. He's 13. He's probably like, whatever, mom. All right, so 2021. This is it, you guys. We are going to have an excellent year together. And I look forward to working with so many of you. So get signed up. The sooner you sign up, the sooner you're able to get your wellness map done. All right. Bye, guys.